Hey everybody, Wes from Fundamental Games here. Going to talk to you about Quacks of Quedlinburg. This is a bag building game that was introduced just a few years ago. I wasn't sure when I heard the name at first, and I kind of pushed on the concept with my family saying, I'm not sure if I want to try this one, but so much good feedback came out of it, and my wife ended up getting it as a Christmas gift about a year ago. And we have had a lot of fun learning it and playing with it as a family, and it's a really great way to introduce newer gamers to a game that has a lot going on, but you can figure it out relatively quickly once you get through the rules and understand it. So why is it fun to me? First off, it's a bag builder. I hadn't played a bag builder before. I'd played Quarriers, which is kind of a dice, I guess you put it in a bag builder, but this was different because it was tokens. I'm so used to dice or something more tactile in a bag. So it's neat to see that. And it's a bag builder, push your luck kind of game where you draw random tokens out of the cauldron or your bag, and you build your pot up until it comes to a point where it might explode. And that explosion is a really neat aspect of it. That push your luck bag building mechanic makes the whole game kind of on the edge of your seat at times, or really anticipating what's going to come, wondering what'll happen. So the bag building mechanic and the push your luck kind of tethered together are my number one thing that I like about the game. Second thing I like about this game is there's a very variable setup. So not only is there some controls in place for the number of players, restricting what kind of boards you can use, but there are different variations of the different colors of boards. So there's plenty of tokens. I'll bring the tokens up on the screen here. But each of these tokens you're going to be purchasing on your rounds. Those will go into your bag, and you'll have a chance of randomly drawing those. But each of those tokens comes with a power, and I'll scroll some of those on the screen as well. But those powers will vary. So how you want to build your bag and how you want to build your game really depends on what you decide to draft and what those powers are. And some people will utilize those better than others, and some people may think certain tokens are junk, and other people's will love them. But that variable setup that each time you're going to play with the same tokens, but those tokens will have different powers and different costs, is a neat way to make the game replayable and different every time you play. So I love that variable setup that comes with the game pre-included, so that you don't necessarily have to buy an expansion to make the game different each time. I always love when games offer that in there. The next one is about the round cards and the unexpectedness of the game. So not only do you have the variableness there, but you also have these round cards. And these round cards give different powers each round of the play. There are 9 rounds of play in every game, so you would get 9 of these cards, which means you won't even play through half of the cards each game. And each game you'll randomly draw those cards. So it adds some definite variation to it. Some of them let you have a bonus before you even start the round. Some of them improve the scoring. Some of them give you free rubies. So it affects every player the same, but certain players may take advantage of those powers in different ways. So it adds a new twist to every round of the game. You can't completely predict the game because of that. Next thing I like is the catch-up mechanic. And again, I was leery about this one at first. The catch-up mechanic, it features a rat token, and there's rats all over the scoreboard. And what happens is you may sometimes get a runaway scoring lead player, so they may be 20 points ahead of the next player or the last player. That person might get an extra 4 rat token spots, and that will give them a lead in the next round of play. And you might think that's not fair, but after playing it many, many times, we found that even though that person may get that bonus, it might only help them temporarily. It won't necessarily help them win the game or take over. But then there's other times where that rat token makes all the difference for that player, and they can totally take on that round. So I like that catch-up mechanic. I don't see a catch-up mechanic like that in any games that I've seen to that extent, where it's so obviously a catch-up mechanic, but so well integrated into the game that it actually doesn't break it. So I like that part about it. All right, and then the last part is, again, about the push your luck and the way that these tokens all kind of mesh and work together. So I know I talked about push your luck in the bag building part, but really, as you're watching your cauldron grow and grow, and you worry about watching it explode, there's not a huge drawback to when it does. Normally you would get points and be able to purchase things, and if your potion or your cauldron explodes, you can only do one or the other. So it's not the end of the world, but it does make a big difference if it happens too often. But not only that, there's tokens like these mushroom ones. Often they'll let you manipulate the end of the round, or there's yellow ones that will allow you to remove some of your white ones to prevent you from exploding. So there's a lot of manipulation while pushing your luck. And so I just love how the token powers combined with the push your luck mechanic work together, and you still have a lot of control over this random. Those are some things that I think are fun about Quacks of Quedlinburg. I think I can say that right. I was surprised by how much fun we had with this game because I really wasn't expecting it. Trying to judge a book by its cover or by its title. A lot of fun came out of it. So hopefully you enjoy it one day, or at least enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Take care.